Today is the day, guys. Today is the day that I ruined the Corvette.
Dirty, man. Oh, what the hell is living underneath this? This is the proper way to look at cam bearings.
Yep, those look good. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So today is a pretty exciting day for me. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, ever since I got the Corvette, but I finally pulled the trigger and started piecing together the cam kit that we're going to be doing on it today. So after a few discussions with Dr. Tune-em-all, after we tuned the long tubes on the Corvette, he suggested that we went with the Titan 4 or the Titan 5 LS1 cam. So this is the Titan 5 232, 238 duration. I can't remember the lift, but it's a pretty good one. So this should sound really good and actually make some pretty decent power. So originally we were going to do the D&A Performance polluter stage 3 cam, but it would probably take away a lot of drivability, and seeming as I still do drive this quite a bit, I will probably just go or chose something a little bit more streetable, but it would also make some pretty good power. So I'll go ahead and show you guys everything we got. We got their beautiful polished double or dual valve springs. They're 660 lift, and they come with all of the necessary hardware for those. We got a BTR trunnion upgrade kit. We got some remanufactured LS3, well, not really LS3, but they're injectors off of a a Flex Fuel 6.2 liters. So they're the 16 hole injectors. Probably can't see that, but they're the LS3 style, so they're really short. And if you know, LS3 injectors are much shorter, about ½ an inch as the LS2s. So what I had to do is ICT Billet makes these little top hats that go directly over the top of the first O-ring on the injector, which will actually space them out to the correct spacing for an LS2 setup. We got some GM head bolts, we got rocker arm bolts, all of our gaskets. We have our new MAF sensor because we will be switching over to the LS3 style MAF and getting rid of the LS2 style MAF. New timing cover, all of our gaskets, so intake manifold, valve cover gaskets. We got our cam bolts. We have a new tensioner for the cam. I also got a new cam gear just in case for whatever reason. This was a split year, 2007, so there's a small chance it still has the single bolt cam setup, but I don't know. But I got one anyway, just for good sake, I guess. New LS2 cam, timing chain, sorry. I got a new thrust plate for the cam, new head gaskets, and a new valley cover gasket. So no oil pump upgrade and no lifter upgrade. So the LS2 lifters are pretty good lifters. They can handle quite a bit of lift. These don't really make any noise at all, so I'm not really worried about it. Same thing with the oil pump. At hot idle, this thing makes 42 pounds of oil pressure. So I think the only thing I would probably do is either shim that spring just a little bit, and I'll show you guys if I decide to do that or not. But the lifters seem like they are fine. I'll go ahead and pull them out, obviously, and just inspect them just to make sure, and put them back in the same area that they came in. So that being said, I wouldn't even call this the bare bones essential, because honestly, some people will just do the cam and do springs and call it a day. So I decided to do just a few other things. Obviously, you need all your gaskets. Some people reuse their gaskets. I would rather not reuse the head gasket, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. But like I said, most of this is not even essential. Obviously, you need a camshaft, and more than likely you'll need springs. So those are probably the two most essential things I would say for a cam upgrade. But you know how we do it here. We may do things, and we do things once. If you guys have any questions about the cam that we got or any of the upgrades we're going to be doing today, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget, we're still doing our 1,000 subscriber giveaway, which will be getting 2 hats and a $25 gift card to either Jegs or Summit Racing. All you got to do is leave a comment down below, like the video, and subscribe to the channel, and you're already entered. I'll go ahead and post the rules down in the description below, and good luck to everybody that enters. Alright, so first sign I shouldn't be doing this. There's quite a bit of material on the end of the drain plug. Now, it's not chunky or anything. It's like super fine. It's almost like a moly coat, or like a moly freaking lube or something. So very strange. Car runs fine. Runs fine. No problems with that. Like I said, there's no problem with oil pressure or anything like that. So I'm going to continue further investigating this. I'm going to tear open this oil filter. Got to run to the store and get some fuel line disconnects for GM. I totally forgot about that. But coils are off, intake's off, wiring harness is coming off. Got to do the headers, valve covers, fuel res off, intake manifold off. And then go ahead and bleed the coolant out of the radiator, because I think I got to move it all the way. Yeah, probably got to move it. And then alternator, I believe, water pump, balancer, all that good stuff. All right, well, nothing out of the ordinary. There's really no metal in here at all. Just that same amount of little, very fine stuff, whatever that is. I don't know. I haven't checked in here yet. Everything looks normal though. I'll go ahead and cut this up and see. Nothing on the bottom. That's just paper right there. I just got off. Everything looks fine though. Very odd. Let's see, anything in the oil? Nope, just dog hair. No sparklies. Nope, I can't find nothing. Just crap that was already in the pan, even though it was pretty clean. What's that? That's blue, that's from the filter itself. I do not see, can't tell if that's metal or sand. Dude, look at that camera quality. Man, new iPhone's killing it. Not bad. Alright, so that makes me feel better. So I'll go ahead and cut open these pleats just to make sure, but if I don't find anything, I'm going to press on. It's just very odd that there's a bunch on there. And it was really small, very, very, almost like a paste. So nothing chunky, just a little gray. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Maybe it's a trunnion bearing going bad or something like that. One of the little needle bearings fell out maybe, or got mulched up by the oil pump. Not sure. We'll find out, but we'll keep pressing on. All right, we got some good headway. Got the headers off. Got the valve covers loosened up. They're still on. I just don't want to get all this crap in there and whatnot. Intake manifold is ready to come off. Fuel injector rail is off. Wiring harnesses on both sides are out of the way. So we'll pull the intake manifold. We'll go ahead and pull the valve covers. And I'll go ahead and put it on top dead center number 1, just for when we do the cam. And then I'll probably go underneath the car. Still haven't drained the coolant yet. I need to do that. And yeah, front accessories are next. Alright guys, big progress. Got the intake manifold off, valve covers are off. And you can see that shit's dirty, man. Oh, what the hell is living underneath this shit? It's actually a lot dirtier than I thought, so. Everything in here looks good though. These are the LS2 springs. They're like 560 or 550 lift springs, something like that. So they're pretty decent ones. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and crank it over manually to top dead center number 1. And yeah, we'll go ahead and do that and continue on from there. So if you ever run across a couple ticking sounds and you think it might be lifters, you always got to consider that these trunnion bearings do have a little bit of play when there's no pressure on them. So you'll hear this at, you know, a couple thousand RPM and it really chatters. So usually that's the sound, but sometimes it's not the sound. So you just got to be careful. The next day of the cam install. So last night Austin helped me out taking the rack out. So as you can see, the rack and pinion is out, so we can continue forward. So fan shroud's got to come out. I'm not sure if the radiator actually has to come out or just kind of be pushed off to the side a little bit, or to the front. But we got the full front accessories to take apart, and then obviously the heads to take off. So probably do the front accessories and the radiator stuff first, and then go ahead and pull the heads off and start tearing into those guys. Well, it doesn't look like I got much done, but the radiator is pretty much free, but for some reason I cannot get the condenser off of this lower little bracket that it kind of sits in the little slide. So I'm gonna leave the radiator, and maybe there's enough room. I'm not sure. I've seen people do it with it in there and people do it without it, so we'll see. Went ahead and took this header off, and I'll show you why here. In the process of taking balancer off, and have to put this little lock in there, so that actually locks the flywheel from spinning. So now I'll be able to turn the crank, which I have all set up, and all that is it's a power bond balancer. So it's not like the standard GM LS balancer where it's got the windows in it. You can pull on it, so you actually have to use some threaded, there's threaded holes in it, so you use some bolts and then use a steering wheel puller. So now I should be able to pull that off, water pump, all that good stuff, and get to the good stuff. Victory, guys, big victory. All right, heads are off. Diving into the cam portion of it right now. As you can see, the LS2 stock, I guess this is the tensioner setup, and I bought a dampener setup, so this would sit in between the chain, obviously, but this one actually puts pressure on it. So I have a new chain, I have a new cam gear, which, probably the only 2007 Corvette with a single bolt cam. Pretty odd, actually. Like I said, not touching oil pump, but yes. So tensioner will probably be coming out, and I'll probably be using the dampener style, and then obviously upgrading that cam gear to the 3-bolt type, like this guy right here. So it's Gen 4 3-bolt type. So it'll slide over the little guide pin on the cam, and then I got new cam bolts, which you guys have already seen. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get everything cleaned up. Probably gonna clean up the pistons a little bit. They're pretty grody. And then pull the lifters out, keep them in order how they should be, so I don't mess that up. And then pull the cam out, oil pump off, cam gear and timing chain off, tensioner off, and hopefully it came out. I have enough clearance to actually just move the radiator back, because right now it's kind of swept back a little bit, so the bottom is actually, as you can see, few inches away from where it's supposed to sit. So I think I can snake that out. Well, I got everything cleaned up, and then I went over here to spin it back over to TDC and pulled some parts out. This is from the tensioner. That stuff was basically right in there, so you can see, I'm sure there's a ton of slop now, but I don't think it was really tensioning much. Yeah, that shit was broken. So I'm probably gonna find some more pieces in there. Hopefully they're not in the pan. Uh-oh. I figured out a way how to get the cam out with the radiator still installed, so I just kind of have to basically lift it up. It's pretty hard to do by yourself. I probably should have waited until Austin was up, but I will wait until he's up, put the new one in, and just so you guys are aware, this is the proper way to look at cam bearings. Yep, those look good. Well, you guys, I'm throwing in the towel for the day. I'm done. I'm freaking tired, and I'm exhausted. Tired and exhausted, sure, whatever. A lot of work done today, though. We got a lot done. I'll go ahead and show you. So obviously we got the heads sitting over there, still got to be built, but we clean up all the pistons and all the deck surfaces and whatnot. Inspected each and every one of the lifters, and they seem to be in fantastic condition. So those came out, went back in. We got the new cam installed. We got the new timing chain, the new sprocket, or timing gear for the cam. Oil pump was out. Oil pump out. Put the timing chain dampener in instead of the tensioner, which I did find the second piece that was broken off. So luckily, found that. It's not sitting in the bottom of the pan. So new thrust plate, everything's Loctited, and torqued. I just got the balancer on and the front cover on. So when you do the front cover, make sure you leave all the bolts loose and then put the balancer on first, because it's going to center itself over that cover. That way you don't have any leakage. So you do that, torque it to 240 foot-pounds. Then the front cover goes on with 18 foot-pounds. And yeah, I mean, we'll continue on. But that's going to be in part 2. So make sure you guys look out for that video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.